Hey everyone, welcome to the Canine Culture Podcast, where we talk about everything dog. Q&As with veterinarian professionals, rescue operators, everyday topics. We cover everything dog on this podcast. So make sure you subscribe to the Canine Culture Podcast on your favorite podcast platform, and make sure you're following us on social media on both Instagram and Facebook. Thanks again for listening. Now here's that next episode. Hey everyone, welcome to the Canine Culture Podcast. This is your host, Brittany, and today we are featuring our special guest, Rusty. He is with Rescue Retriever. So thank you, Rusty, for being on today.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
So before we kind of jump in to Rescue Retriever, which I'm excited about, let's talk a little bit about you, who you are, and what you do.
So pretty much I am a serial entrepreneur. I guess you could say. I've been actually flipping houses in Arizona for the past 10 years. That's really kind of a machine that I do with a business partner. I basically buy homes at auction and make them pretty, and then I sell them. So that's pretty much what I've been doing for the past 10 to 12 years.
Okay.
But I own other companies too that I kind of try to get going. But sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. But
right.
That's pretty much what I've been doing for the last 13 years is flipping houses in the real estate market. But
cool.
This company is actually from within. This is a family affair with myself and my brother Ryan. We're twin brothers, so we grew up together our entire lives. And he's a captain of the Avondale Fire Department in West Phoenix, kind of awesome. Suburb out there.
Yeah. So that probably leads into how or why Rescue Retriever was started. And before we even talk about why it was started, let's first tell everyone, what is Rescue Retriever?
So what Rescue Retriever is, and actually I have one here so you can see it. So it's about, see it flashing there? So that's actually what it does. But so basically what it is a smoke detector that was developed by my brother. It was his idea, that alerts firefighters when they arrive to a fire or smoke emergency. So what my brother discovered was that when they go on a call for a fire or smoke emergency and they arrive to these homes, they don't know what your home looks like inside. They don't know where your furniture is at. They don't know pretty much anything about your home. So when they arrive to the home, how would they ever know that you have a pet? They really don't. Unless you're there to tell them. But I don't think you're going to be. Most fires, you're not inside, or you're at work or when they happen. No one's really ever there. You're out of there before any of that happens. But what it does is when it senses smoke, the Rescue Retriever, it'll trigger just like a regular smoke detector, but instead of a beeping noise, the irritating noise everyone hears when they start burning food or anything like that in their house, it emits a strobe, and this strobe is constant. So it's got 10 really powerful LED bulbs in it that trigger when smoke hits the smoke chamber inside the paw. So when firefighters come to your home, essentially when they come into the front doors, there's blackout smoke conditions. So if the smoke is white, gray, or black, depending on the fire, they should be able to see our light shining bright, pretty much in any room you have. I've actually tested it, and it actually lit up my whole house. So,
oh wow.
Yeah. My wife came home. She's like, "What is going on?" And it's like, "Oh, just testing the product."
Right.
So
and it makes sense. I mean, I grew up in a firefighter household, and having smoke detectors and fire alarms and even those little stickers that go on the door that say, "I have a pet inside." Well, that all makes sense, but you don't really think about how dark it is in there, and no one knows your house like you do. So if it's pitch black, they don't know where to go. They can't see, they can't go in and flip lights on. So this is just the perfect solution for, quite frankly, one of my biggest fears. I think anyone that has a dog, this is one of their biggest fears. A lot of us have seen the stories where, the firefighters were maybe able to get out one of the dogs, but not all of them, or maybe they didn't know about the dogs. So Um, and I think I read on your all's website, but how did you guys come up with this idea, or kind of why did you start it?
Just to go back a little bit, what our device does too as well is that when firefighters arrive to a scene, and if there's smoke or fire, they automatically kill your power, right? Because
Mhm,
they're
mhm.
not going to go into a house fully powered with electrical lines and stuff, and try to find that fire and put it out. They got to turn the power off.
Right.
And what our device does is it's really for pet owners, so they can help the firefighters and alert them to say, "Hey, I have a pet. Rescue it."
Mhm,
It's a
mhm.
family member. That's how we look at it, and
Right.
that's really why we created it. Um,
Mhm,
but really, how this all started was, my brother and I we're thick as thieves. We've grown up with each other. We're twins, so we didn't really follow the same path as each other. My brother went into the military. I didn't. I went to college. But we're very, very much alike, and we're very
mhm,
competitive, especially growing up.
mhm. Yeah.
So, I enjoyed business more than anything, and he always wanted to be a firefighter. So there was no change in his mind. And in my mind, I really didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up, but business
Mhm,
was what I really loved. So, knowing my brother, he had that idea, and he actually told me about 2 years ago. He spoke about it. Actually, I think it was at Thanksgiving. And I
mhm.
was like, what are you talking about? I'm not an engineer, I'm not made
Right,
what I don't even know how to get this thing built, you know.
right.
But as I did real estate, and and that's a machine in itself, and I'm kind of a perfectionist in that, and everything I kind of tackle in the entrepreneur spirit, I love the challenge. So the
Mhm,
challenge of him coming to me saying, "Hey, this is it," I looked at it. I said, "You know what? I think you're right about this. As far as, there's a big problem with you guys having the equipment to even save animals, you know?
mhm.
So if there's a disconnect because you guys can't find these dogs and cats or pets in time, let's save them, you know?
Right.
So it really like got me going. And it got me thinking, and that was my drive for it. Said, I'm going to make this thing work, and because it's needed.
Mhm,
That was the whole story. So when he came to me and said, "Hey, you can implement this. I know you can do it. Let's just put it together and see what we can do." So pretty much what's great about the product is now you've got the entrepreneur doing the actual product and business, but you also got the skilled firefighter that is the foresight of this product. Like, so when he goes in
mhm.
houses, he is the educational purpose of this thing, and for
Right.
all firefighters, you know, a- even when he was talking to his chief, he showed the product when I got finished with it, and he's like, "I can't believe this hasn't ever been invented for the last 40 years of my career." You
Yeah.
know, and all the tools that firefighters actually have, they've got the expensive stuff. Not one of them tells you that there's a pet in the house or where it's located.
Mhm,
So our device is honestly, I think it's crucial to save that time for pets, because not only could they pass away, but the smoke alone ruins their eyes, their eyelids. I mean,
mhm.
there's a lot of the damage that's occurred. So,
Yeah.
that's pretty much how it started. I took the challenge, and he was right there right along with me. So we looked at it and engineered the circuit boards, and even when it came down to the paw, he essentially wanted to do a
Mhm.
bone first. And I said, you know what? If we're going to be the national product for pet rescue for firefighters and first responders, let's do a paw, because people
Yeah.
relate to that and they'll see it and they'll love it. They know it involves
Right.
pets. So
Yeah.
that's pretty
And I
much
told
how
you
we started.
before we jumped on here, I mean, usually on TikTok, you just scroll and scroll and scroll, and you'll see random stuff on your For You page, and you almost never scroll back. But your product, I was like, wait a second, I think I need this. And you say that about 100 things on TikTok. But it was one of those, I just sat and stared at it on TikTok, and I was like, wait, I actually need this for my 4 dogs. Because right now I just have those little stickers on the front
Yeah.
door or a few of the windows, and they say, I have a pet inside. But that doesn't help. It doesn't direct anyone. They still can't see when they get in here. Like you said, the power's going to be cut. It's going to be dark. There's going to be smoke. So yeah, I'm excited about the product.
Yes. Yeah. So we encourage people to keep those stickers. And
Mhm.
also in our product, we're actually including stickers because our paw, if a firefighter just sees the paw on your window, and because we're trying to put this as a national thing, and even the world,
Right.
they're going to say, hey, they have a rescue retriever. Watch for the
Mhm.
strobe. That's
Yeah.
what we want. As far as that's people love those stickers because it makes them feel that the firefighter is going to look at that, right?
Mhm.
Because they're trying to alert them to save their animals. Well,
Right.
we just came up with something that's, hey, get in here and save my animal, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Now, do you know how many, like, I don't wanna say square footage because every house is laid out so differently, but if you've kind of got pets maybe in one part of the house and then maybe down another hallway, do you think it would be helpful to have more than one so that you could see kind of in both directions, or is that confusing because there's too many strobes? Like, what have you guys kind of seen with testing the product?
with the TikTok videos, there was so much commenting that I had to keep up.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of great questions, for my brother and I to answer on that. And as far as it comes to, I have a roaming pet. This isn't going to help them. They roam around the house. And our suggestion is, listen, where your pet goes when it gets scared. Most pet owners do. And
Mhm.
also where your pet resides the most, where they feel comfortable, like their pet beds or their crates. And a lot of people, when they go to work, they crate their animal. So
Right. Mhm.
that is the location. If you're a crated animal, this device is 100% needed, you know,
Mhm.
to take away the guessing game of where your pet's going to be. But also,
Mhm.
like, as far as like square footages of houses go, the bigger the house, the more you should have. Because if you've got a 4,000 square foot house, some have basements, some have upstairs. So, if your dog, your dog stays downstairs with your kids and you put it right at the basement stairs, that's the direction the firefighters are going to go because they're not going to
Mhm.
see downstairs, right? They possibly might see
Right.
the strobe, but if the fire starts downstairs and it creeps up the stairs, it's going to hit our rescue retriever. So,
Mhm.
it's really a navigation tool for them to go to where this light is. So if you do have two, they're going to go to both locations. But as well, if you have just one, if they go into your house and they see our strobe, that puts it in their head, hey, these guys have a pet, because
Mhm.
that's really the educational part that we're pushing to fire chiefs and in other cities and even our city, even to the union reps, because the union reps, they represent all firefighters. So that kind of
Right.
protocol comes from the top down, and really the device, once we save just one dog, it's the gratitude is going to be so overwhelming because
Yeah.
it's just that's our goal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
then one other question I had for the product itself, and then I have a couple others, but would you guys suggest placing this, most of the time we put our fire alarms kinda higher up, and I don't know if you guys have found, is it better to have it kinda higher up, or is it better to have it lower down, maybe where you can kinda see your pet below the smoke? Do you guys have a suggestion for that?
yeah, so our device is actually for the ground. It's for,
Mhm,
to your waist high or to your crate or on your bed or on your doors. Because what happens with smoke rises. And as the smoke rises, it gets hot. And those your regular smoke alarms, they really get hot. And if it gets hot enough, they
mhm,
start to melt. So when ours is on the bottom, the smoke begins to bank down, and our strobe light probably will be going off no matter what, because when there's
mhm,
smoke. It's going to detect it and it's going to go off. So
right,
when firefighters enter into a home, they're low. They're all low. They stay low because the higher you get, the denser the smoke. So
mhm,
that's why our alert would like to stay as low as possible. But also, it's such a bright light that it's just going to strobe through, and it'll show the direction of where they need to go when they come
right,
straight through your home. If it's
yeah,
like, say you have a 2-story house, and it's going off upstairs, the protocol for most fire departments when they arrive on scene is to tell the dispatch what they see. So when they arrive
mhm,
on scene and they see a strobe light going off in one of the rooms outside in the window, they're going to say, hey, we have a strobe upstairs. So
mhm,
that's another alert system, because they see the strobe and they have to say it in their protocols. At
Mhm.
least that's what my brother has to do. He's got to describe
Yeah,
the scene and what they're arriving
right.
to dispatch.
Yeah.
So
Now,
the
are you
lower,
guys
right?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so we recommend, just put it where your pet is. You got a
Mhm.
Great Dane, put a little higher. you know.
Right, right. Yeah. Now, are you guys working on any other products or any possible, like, integrations with any kind of, like, mobile apps or anything like that?
Why are you trying to steal our secrets?
I know you probably can't even tell me, but I've got a million ideas. I was like, man, like,
So,
for example, my Simply Safe, if my Simply Safe alarms go off, the alarm on my phone goes off. My shower actually set it off the other day and dispatch called me. So,
yeah,
but I was just thinking, man, if my rescue retriever could alert me on my phone, obviously I'd have a heart attack, but if it could alert me, and then also if it could alert, however it might go off, hey, this house has a fire, they've got pets, that kind of thing. So it sounds like you guys are on the same wavelength that I am.
yeah. So the scalability of our rescue retriever, it's huge. When I started the company, and and I have we have our attorneys, because I had to put a design patent on the
Hmm.
device, and also utility patent. I got to protect its intellectual property, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
He flat out said, Rusty and Ryan, I want you to think that you have $1 trillion in R&D budget, and write down everything that you think this thing can do. So that's what we did.
Hmm.
So our focus is on pets, strictly pets, because we want to, 40,000 pets die per year. That's really the numbers. But according to
Oh,
my
wow.
brother, they don't even write down that a pet is deceased. So who do
Hmm.
they even tell? So we think
Right.
those numbers are way higher than what people are saying.
Hmm.
So if we can even cut down that amount in half just
Right.
with the rescue retriever, that's a huge win for everybody.
Yeah.
Um, but as far as products, we got a lot of comments on TikTok about how pets. I have a roaming pet. How would they find my other? I have 2 or 3 dogs. How do they find them? And the secret's out. We've developed a tag, and it goes on. It'll fit any collar. You put the tag on, and if the rescue retriever triggers, the tag triggers.
I
So what
need 4 of
happens is
those.
yeah. So there's strobes on the tag. So
Uh-huh.
really, if the firefighters come in and they go in the room where the big rescue retriever is, the home device, and they grab one of them, they're still going to continue their search. And then if your dogs hide, if they wherever they're going to be at, they're going to be low, and they're going to have that tag on their collar. So
That's awesome.
we're going to light it up like a Christmas tree, pretty much.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
follow the light, find the light. That's what we want you to find, because that's your
Mhm.
dogs. And and also the cat
Right.
market. It's huge for the cat
Yeah.
market, because cats, they hide. you know, they
Mhm.
they go hide, and they get away from a lot of stuff. They do that on their own when it's not smoke and fire conditions. So,
Right.
um, that's we're already developing it, so it's already in range for us to probably roll out in really quick time. We just want to,
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I
yeah.
can't wait
So
for that.
yeah, so an integration, yes, integration is going to be huge. Um,
Mhm.
look out for the app. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Because the way
Yeah,
we're,
for sure.
yeah. So
And then so the most important question, where can people find you, website, social media? Tell everyone where to find you guys.
we're at www.rescueretriever.com. That's our main website. So that's really where we want to push everybody to first, just because
Mhm.
that's where you're going to get the detailed information that you're going to want, because we'll be updating it regularly. Pet advice, where you should hang it, where you should place it, new products that roll out. And, we want everybody to go there first, because honestly, we're our own category. I
Mhm.
sold it into a pet store just down the road from me. And, you know, the general manager walked around with me and said, "Hey, Rusty, I don't even know what category to put you in." And I flat out said, "We are our own category. We are the pets. We're pet safety, and that's our category." So, we're a smoke detector, but we're in pet safety. That's what we are. We're a pet safety technology company, and putting it on Amazon and putting it on different websites. I mean, we'll slowly but surely get to those points, but we'd rather push everyone to our website. That way, they can get the detailed information. And once we start getting a little bigger or into retail stores, then I'm assuming they're going to start pushing with us. But we'll probably actually, right now it's pre-order only. We're expecting to get our lot of units here in about a week. Packaging is here, it's ready, and we're just waiting on a couple on the casings of the units. So once we get those, we're going to do a big push on TikTok first. So they can we're going to roll it out on TikTok first. They can order it on TikTok, and then we'll roll it into other spots. But we're doing, awesome. So we'll be at the bigger expos for pets. We're going to come out big.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah. So we're,
thank you.
Go ahead. Sorry,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
We've had so much, I've been pretty much inundated from other fire departments in other cities. And as far as, Wisconsin and Canada and Australia, they want to know what the shipping is. They want one, they just want it, just because they love they love their pets and animals. But we're a new company, but we work efficiently, and we try to get, we're going to get these to everybody we can. And, we're very excited for the product. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys making the product, and I appreciate you being on. Like I said, I'm excited to get my hands on it and to just spread the word to not only people in Florida and Ohio and Texas, where I have my main contacts, but everywhere. We've got listeners in every country. So I'm excited just for every single person with a dog or a cat to learn about this. So thank you guys.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I appreciate it.
Thank you for tuning in to the Canine Culture Podcast. Please make sure you subscribe to the Canine Culture Podcast on your favorite podcast platform, and make sure you're following us on social media. If you have any recommendations, any topics that you'd like to hear, if you know of any guests that would be good for the show, or if you yourself want to be a guest, please reach out to us. Send us an email at canineculturepodcast@gmail.com, or send us a direct message on social media. Thank you for listening, and please share this with any of your dog-loving friends.